When fame fades and the applause quiets, what remains is the truth people carry behind closed doors. For Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa, recent moments revealed the quiet reality behind the public image of a perfect life. This is not a story about celebrity or spectacle. It is about love, resilience, and partnership in the face of challenges that are often invisible to the world. What Mark recently shared was intended to honor Kelly's journey, to humanize her experience, and to show that even those who appear strongest on screen navigate struggles with courage and determination. At its heart, the story is a reminder that real life continues beyond the cameras, and that love often manifests quietly, through care, presence, and unwavering support. When private truths come to light, Mark's interview brought to the public's attention a reality Kelly has long faced privately. A health condition that ebbs and flows, sometimes manageable, sometimes overwhelming. This revelation resonated because it revealed the woman behind the radiant energy audiences have admired for decades. Mark spoke not as a public figure, but as a husband, witnessing the effort Kelly pours into each day despite exhaustion. He described moments when her voice trembled, not from fear, but from sheer fatigue. Yet she continued to show up with grace and commitment. It was a glimpse into strength in its quietest form, a resilience often invisible to the outside world. Hearing this, fans could see Kelly differently, not just as a television icon, but as a person whose dedication and perseverance inspire those around her. The weight felt. First at home, behind the public smiles, Mark explained, the impact of Kelly's condition was felt most deeply at home. Daily routines shifted in subtle ways. Dinners were missed, plans postponed, and evenings became quieter, slower, more deliberate. Even their grown children noticed the change, responding with care and heightened attentiveness. This section highlights how personal challenges ripple through the family, requiring adjustment and patience. Yet Mark spoke with pride, emphasizing Kelly's determination and steadfastness. Early mornings, long walks, and medical routines became acts of courage, and the home, rather than being a place of struggle, became a space of love, adaptability, and shared strength. Kelly's fighting spirit. Through Mark's eyes, Kelly's resilience was evident not in perfection, but in persistence. Despite exhaustion and setbacks, she refused to surrender to circumstance. She continued treatments, therapy, and daily routines, even on days when fatigue threatened to overwhelm her. Mark's admiration came not from seeing Kelly overcome every obstacle, but from witnessing her commitment to show up for herself and for her family again and again. This section reframes strength as effort, determination, and consistent courage. It emphasizes that real resilience is not flawless. It is the choice to continue, to confront challenges, and to embrace agency over circumstance. Kelly's example becomes an inspiration not only to her family, but to anyone striving to persevere in quiet, meaningful ways. The moment that changed everything. Mark recounted a moment that underscored life's fragility. A day that began like any other but quickly shifted into urgency when Kelly collapsed unexpectedly. The ensuing hours, filled with uncertainty, hospital visits, and careful monitoring, reminded everyone that life can pivot suddenly. Even the routines that seemed stable were disrupted, revealing the depth of dependency, care, and emotional connection within the family. What stood out in Mark's telling was Kelly's unbroken spirit, even when faced with vulnerability. This paragraph captures how moments of crisis test not only physical endurance but also emotional bonds, showing how love and partnership are strengthened through mutual support during uncertainty. Choosing to fight after trauma. Following that incident, Kelly's response was emblematic of her inner strength. She chose to face recovery with resolve, determination, and a quiet sense of agency. Mark described how therapy, medical treatments, and incremental steps became milestones, celebrating small victories along the way. Sleeping through the night, walking without assistance, or sharing laughter after difficult days became moments of triumph. This section highlights that recovery and resilience are rarely dramatic. They are gradual, layered with patience and commitment. Kelly's journey demonstrates that strength is built in steps, through persistence, and through the willingness to continue even when the path forward is uncertain. Resilience beyond illness. Mark emphasized that Kelly's story extends beyond health alone. Her resilience is about choosing intention, presence, and engagement each day, regardless of challenges. She's admired not because she is invincible, but because she consistently chooses to face life fully, to care for herself and those around her, and to embrace growth through adversity. This perspective broadens the story's relevance, offering viewers a model of endurance, patience, and courage that applies to many aspects of life, not just illness. Kelly's example reframes struggles as opportunities for continued growth, illustrating that resilience is an active, ongoing process rather than a destination. Lessons that reach beyond their story. Mark's openness conveyed lessons with universal resonance. One is the value of seeking help when needed. Kelly did not allow pride to prevent her from leaning on professionals or loved ones. Another is that vulnerability is a form of strength, not weakness. By sharing their story, Mark honored their relationship, demonstrating that authenticity nurtures trust and connection. Hope, he reminded viewers, does not erase difficulty. It simply acknowledges that progress, however incremental, is possible. Love, as he described it, is not about fixing someone, but about presence. Staying, listening, and believing even when the future feels uncertain. These lessons encourage reflection on how support, empathy, and care create meaningful relationships that endure life's inevitable trials. Looking toward an unwritten future. As the story closes, attention turns to what lies ahead. Treatments continue, progress remains gradual, and the path forward is still evolving. Yet, Mark and Kelly's commitment to one another remains steadfast. This paragraph underscores that life rarely offers neat conclusions, but it is in ongoing effort, patience, and shared intention that meaning is found. Their journey invites viewers to consider the power of showing up for loved ones, of maintaining presence through challenges, and of embracing the unknown with courage. Even in seasons of uncertainty, love becomes a force capable of carrying people forward, sustaining them as they navigate the unpredictable rhythms of life. Conclusion: the quiet power of love. What endures from Mark and Kelly's story is not fame or public recognition, but the demonstration of partnership, resilience, and unwavering support. Through health challenges, moments of vulnerability, and the ordinary demands of family life, they exemplify how love is expressed quietly through care, presence, and mutual commitment. This narrative reminds us that true courage is often invisible, that strength is measured in persistence rather than perfection, and that enduring relationships are built on honesty, patience, and empathy. Beyond television, beyond the audience, it is a story about two people choosing each other, day after day, facing challenges together, and creating a life defined by compassion, support, and the quiet power of love.